Imagine lying in bed at night, the room silent, the shadows shifting ever so slightly. You tell yourself it's just your imagination, until you hear a whisper that isn't yours. Tonight, we're diving into labindalawa terrifying two-sentence stories that will send chills down your spine. These short, haunting tales prove that sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones left unfinished. People often think fear comes from what they can see, but the real horror hides in the unknown. As child giggles in an empty room, text message arrives from someone long gone, a reflection in the mirror moves when you don't. These are the moments that make your heart race. The kind of fear that lingers long after the story ends. What would you do if you heard your name whispered in an empty house? Or if you found an old photo in your attic with someone in it who shouldn't be there? These stories aren't just fiction, they feel disturbingly real because they tap into our deepest fears. The fear of being watched. The fear of the dark. The fear that something, or someone, is right behind you. As we count down these eerie tales, brace yourself. Some of these stories will be easy to dismiss, just a trick of the mind. Others will leave you questioning what's real and what's not. And one, well, let's just say, after hearing it, you might not sleep as peacefully tonight. Now, turn down the lights, make sure you're alone, or at least think you are, and get ready. Because once you hear these stories, they'll stay with you long after the video ends. And whatever you do, don't look behind you. The room is quiet now, but the feeling of being watched lingers. Maybe it's just your mind playing tricks, or maybe it isn't. As we go deeper into these terrifying two-sentence stories, you'll realize that fear isn't always about what you can see, it's about what you can't. Imagine waking up to find your bedroom door open, even though you remember locking it before going to sleep. You sit up, scanning the darkness, trying to convince yourself that maybe you just forgot. But then, you hear it, slow, deliberate breathing coming from just outside your door. A man receives a voicemail from his wife, her voice trembling as she whispers, "Please help me." His stomach drops. His wife has been gone for over a year. These aren't just random stories, they are glimpses into the unknown, into things we don't understand but somehow feel deep in our bones. The kind of fear that starts as a small doubt in your mind and then spreads, making you second-guess everything. A little boy tells his mother about the nice man who plays with him at night. She brushes it off as an imaginary friend until he says something strange. "He told me he used to live here before you." The mother's blood runs cold. The house was built on empty land, or so she thought. Then there's the woman who kept noticing her cat staring at the ceiling, its eyes wide, body stiff. She thought it was nothing until she started hearing the knocks, always 3, always at 3:15 minuto that. She asked her landlord about it. His answer. The last tenant said the same thing before she left in a hurry. Fear isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's quiet, like a shadow moving when nothing should be there, or a reflection in the mirror that lingers a little too long after you turn away. And the worst part? These stories don't end when the video does. Because after you hear them, you'll start noticing little things too. A cold spot in the room. A flickering light. A whisper in the distance. Are you sure you're alone right now? You tell yourself it's just a story, just words strung together to create fear. But then, your phone buzzes, a notification from an unknown number. Did you hear that? Your heart pounds. You check the room, convincing yourself it's a coincidence. But deep down, something feels off. Somewhere, a security guard rewatches last night's footage, pausing at a frame where a figure stands behind him, impossible, because he was alone. A woman receives text from her sister asking if she got home safe. But her sister had been with her the whole time. The stories feel closer now, don't they? Your hands feel clammy as you grip your phone, staring at the unknown message. You tell yourself not to reply, not to engage, but your curiosity won't let go. Before you can decide, another message appears. Look behind you. You don't want to, but the air feels different now, thicker, heavier. Every sound seems louder. The quiet hum of your house suddenly feels unnatural, like something is listening. Across town, a man is working late in his office, finishing up paperwork. He rubs his tired eyes, glancing at the clock. 3:15 minuto da. He sighs and turns back to his screen, only to see reflection in it. Someone is standing behind him. His breath catches as he slowly turns, but the room is empty. The screen flickers. The reflection is still there. A woman, home alone, watches these to distract herself from the eerie feeling creeping over her. The news anchor's voice suddenly distorts, the screen flickering to static. Then, a whisper through the speakers. "Can you hear me?" The voice is soft, almost pleading. She scrambles for the remote, pressing every button. The screen cuts to black. Her own reflection stares back at her, but her lips stay moving. And she isn't speaking. The feeling is growing now, a sensation that these aren't just stories anymore. They're threads, connecting to something bigger, something unseen. The patterns, 3:15 minuto da, shadows where there shouldn't be, voices reaching through screens and devices, are no longer coincidences. The unease settles deep. And then, the final piece falls into place. Someone, somewhere, picks up a ringing phone, expecting to hear a familiar voice. Instead, the quiet breath. Then 2 words. "You're next." The phone call ends abruptly, but the silence that follows is worse. The person on the other end didn't just hang up, it felt like they were still there, listening. Watching. You check your reflection in the darkened screen of your phone, half expecting to see something that shouldn't be there. Nothing. But the unease lingers. Somewhere else, in another quiet room, a man wakes up gasping for air. His dream, no, his nightmare, felt too real. He saw himself, standing in his own bedroom, but there was something wrong. His face was blurred, distorted, like a smudged reflection in a broken mirror. The moment he realized that the figure wasn't his dream, he woke up. But as he sits up in bed, trying to shake the fear, his heart stops. The closet door, left open just a crack, reveals a sliver of his mirror. And in it, his reflection is still lying down. A woman, miles away, paces in her living room, trying to ignore the strange feeling in her gut. The power had flickered earlier, just for a second, but it was enough to send a chill down her spine. She picks up her phone, scrolling mindlessly, needing a distraction. Then, a notification pops up from her front door camera. Motion detected. Her breath catches. She taps the video feed. Nothing but the empty street, the dim porch light flickering. Then the footage glitches. For half a second, a blurry figure appears, too close to the camera, like it's staring straight in. Then it's gone. The timestamp reads 3:15 minuto da. Something is happening. Something connecting all these moments, these whispers, these shadows that don't belong. The stories people dismiss as fiction suddenly feel like warnings. This pattern hidden in the quiet hours of the night. You can feel it now, can't you? The feeling that someone, something, is close. Too close. And then, the final twist. Somewhere, a young girl wakes up to the sound of her mother calling her name from the kitchen. Sleepily, she rubs her eyes and stumbles toward the stairs. But just as she reaches the top step, she hears something behind her. A quiet voice whispering in the dark. "Don't go." I heard it too. The girl freezes at the top of the stairs, her heart pounding. The voice behind her is small, almost scared. She turns, but the hallway is empty. Her mother's voice calls again from the kitchen, warm and familiar. But something doesn't feel right. Her feet stay planted. The man in his bedroom stares at the mirror, breath shallow. His reflection is still lying down, its eyes closed. He lifts a trembling hand, but the reflection doesn't move. Then, suddenly, its eyes snap open. He stumbles back, his mind racing. The reflection tilts its head slightly, as if studying him. And then, it smiles. The woman with the security camera replays the footage over and over, trying to convince herself it's just a glitch. But then she notices something else, something far worse. The blurry figure wasn't outside. It was behind her door, inside the house. Her body turns cold as a soft creak echoes from the hallway. The pattern is no longer just a series of coincidences. It's something real, something reaching out. The stories weren't just warnings, they were connected. Every shadow, every whisper, every unexplainable moment was leading to this. This presence that wasn't just watching. It was waiting. And then, the final moment. The girl at the top of the stairs takes a deep breath. "Mom," she calls, her voice barely above a whisper. Silence. Then, a response. "Come down, sweetheart." But something is off. The voice is almost right, but not quite. It's thinner. Hollow. Behind her, the whisper comes again, closer this time. "That's not Mom." The screen goes black. The silence stretches. Then, a single sound. I knock. 3 times. At exactly 3:15 minuto the girl stands frozen at the top of the stairs, her breath caught in her throat. The voice downstairs calls again, softer this time. "Come here, sweetheart." It should be comforting, but it isn't. The whisper behind her is closer now, urgent. "Don't go." She takes a step back, heart hammering in her chest. The man in his bedroom watches in horror as his reflection rises from the bed, still smiling. He stumbles toward the door, but before he can reach it, the lights flicker and die. In the darkness, he hears a quiet chuckle. His own voice, but not his own. The woman with the security camera doesn't turn around. She can feel it now, standing in the hallway behind her, just beyond her line of sight. She clenches her fists, willing herself to move. The disease crackles to life on its own, static filling the room. A voice emerges from the noise. "It's too late." And then, all at once, the tension shatters. The girl hears footsteps approaching the stairs, slow and deliberate. The man in the bedroom lunges for the door, his own laughter echoing from the mirror. The woman takes a deep breath and turns, but there is nothing there. The lights flicker back on. The house is silent. The mirror in the bedroom shows nothing unusual. The security footage is gone, erased as if it never existed. The girl's mother appears at the bottom of the stairs, frowning. "Ellie, didn't you come down? Everything is normal." Too normal. The fear lingers, buried beneath the surface, but the moment has passed. The stories have ended. Or maybe, they never really do. Somewhere, phone buzzes with an unknown message. His door creaks open on its own. A whisper drifts through the static of a television. And outside, in the quiet hours of the night, a shadow waits.